This bride discovers fiancé's double life after he dies on their wedding day. Welcome to Will I Be Happy, the channel that brings stories that stir your soul and make you question everything you thought you knew about happiness. This time, we will take you on an emotional roller coaster of love, loss, and shocking revelations. This is the story of a woman who discovered her fiancé's secret life after he died on their wedding day. Kaitlin Cook, now a 34-year-old New Yorker, thought she had found her perfect match in Sidney Palmer, a wealthy businessman who seems to have been her charming prince. They met on a dating app while Kaitlin lived in Astoria, Queens, and Sidney was in Manhattan. It was a whirlwind romance that climaxed in a magical proposal in Christmas 2019. Kaitlin. He was charismatic, funny, handsome, his laugh was contagious, and his confidence made everyone around feel comfortable. I was drawn to his sense of humor and his zest for life. The intimacy was amazing. There was passion, and what I believed was a true friendship for about 2 amazing years. When he finally proposed under a snow-white tree, I was over the moon. The couple set their spring wedding date for June 2020. The months leading up to the wedding were filled with excitement and meticulous planning. Kate and Sid were hands-on in every detail, from selecting the perfect venue to tasting countless cake samples. We wanted everything to be perfect. We spent hours discussing every detail, from the location to the color of the flowers to the songs on the playlist. Money was not an issue. Sidney was so involved, making me love him even more. The night before the wedding, Kaitlin and Sidney celebrated their rehearsal dinner in his luxury loft in Midtown with their closest friends and family. It was an evening filled with laughter, toasts, and happy tears. The rehearsal dinner was magical. Everyone was in high spirits, and it felt like everything was falling into place. I was so grateful to have that memory. If only I knew that the perfect picture of my life would be shattered a few hours later. Kaitlin and Sidney decided to uphold the tradition of not seeing each other before the wedding. They spent the night in separate places. He was at home, and she was at the prestigious Ritz Hotel, eagerly anticipating the big day, only for the unbelievable to happen the next morning. The perfect day took a tragic turn. Kate was woken up by a phone call from her mother, a call that would change her life forever. I woke up at 6 a.m. to the hotel phone ringing. It was my mom, and she sounded off. I remember thinking about my hair appointment and whether I was late. Then she told me, Sid had died in the middle of the night. Sidney had passed away from a heart attack, which later turned out to be caused by excessive use of cocaine combined with alcohol. He was just 33 years old, and his sudden death left Kate in a state of shock and disbelief. It was like my world stopped. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't digest that this was really my life. No, this can't happen. I screamed like I'd never screamed in my life. One moment, I was preparing to marry the love of my life, and the next, he was gone. It felt like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. Kaitlin's world shattered as she transitioned from a bride-to-be to a grieving widow in an instant. But was this actually what happened? Let's delve deeper into her grief and the beginning of her journey to uncover the truth. Kaitlin's world crumbled. The days following Sidney's death were a blur of sorrow and confusion. The shock of losing her fiancé on their wedding day left her grappling with intense grief. Kaitlin. My bridesmaids were with me in the days after, taking turns around the clock, supporting and hugging in the moments when I cried, shouted, and fell apart. I wasn't happy they experienced me that way, but I had no choice. I felt like my world had stopped. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I was just a shell of myself trying to make sense of something so senseless. Kaitlin's friends and family surrounded her with support, but nothing could fill the void left by Sidney's sudden passing. The white wedding that was supposed to be a celebration of love turned into a dark, somber gathering of mourning. Her family rallied around her, providing much-needed support during this unimaginable time. They took turns staying with her, ensuring she was never alone in her darkest hours. My family and friends were incredible. They were with me every step of the way, not leaving me alone for more than a few minutes. They helped me survive those first few weeks and even smile again. But that doesn't mean I wasn't heading to a path of self-destruction. Alcohol, food, and meaningless intercourse with other men did not console her, as she frankly admits. Through the following months, Kate tried to find solace in social media, connecting with others who had experienced similar losses. It was through these connections that she began to see a way forward. She joined online support groups, sharing her story and finding comfort in the stories of others. Kaitlin, the community I found online was incredible. People who had gone through horrific things and survived. Their honesty and support were a lifeline for me. But just as Kaitlin started to piece her life together, she stumbled upon a shocking revelation. On Sid's birthday in April 2021, she saw a social media post that turned her world upside down. I saw a comment on his profile, wishing him a happy birthday, discussing spending his last birthday together. I was so confused. I reached out to the woman who made the post, and she told me she was his girlfriend. The New York woman, Kimberly K., revealed that she and Sid had been in a relationship for 4 years, but declined his proposal 1 year before his death. Kaitlin's grief turned to bewilderment and anger as she realized the extent of Sydney's betrayal. Kaitlin, my body went numb. She sent me messages and pictures proving they had been together. Kimberly described how they met through a dating app. She told me about long nights of love, moments of laughter, passion, dates, and even what his apartment looked like in detail. I didn't initially understand what she was saying, but the understanding came slowly. He had been living a double life. Kaitlin, my body went numb. She sent me messages and pictures with him, some taken by him in his bed, proving they had been together. He had been living a double life, but I felt like it was all a blur. He not only screwed her, but screwed up my life at the time. Kaitlin's grief turned to anger as she processed the betrayal. She struggled with the emotional aftermath of learning that the man she loved had deceived her so profoundly. The discovery of Sydney's relationship with Kim left Kaitlin questioning everything she thought she knew about him. Memories of their time together were now tainted with doubt and betrayal. Kaitlin, I met a side of myself I didn't know existed. I was angry, broken, and so full of rage, more than I've ever felt before. I felt like my entire, what I thought was a loving relationship had been a cruel lie, that he had been two-faced all time through. As Kaitlin dug deeper in her conversations with Kimberly, she discovered that Sydney's betrayal was even more extensive. He bought Kim her own apartment in the city, a few blocks from his place. Since he was handsome and attractive to many, there were other women occasionally. Some even got paid to spend the night with him. Some of these were amplified by taking drugs and alcohol, just as happened the night before their intended wedding. The magnitude of his deceit was overwhelming. Kaitlin, there were more women. I found out more lies through Kim, who probably forgave him time and time again. She revealed that he bought jewelry for some of them, and some probably got paid for their silence. It felt like he never even loved me to begin with, that it was all just a sick, twisted game to him. But I decided I wasn't going to let his actions destroy my soul. The man I was so madly in love with wasn't just dead, he had never existed in the first place. Each new revelation was a fresh wound, but Kate resolved to uncover the truth, no matter how painful it was. She tried to reach out to the other women, piecing together the full extent of Sydney's double life. In a surprising twist, Kaitlin decided to meet with Kim, the woman who had unknowingly shared Sydney's affections. The meeting was fraught with tension and emotion, but also offered a path to healing. Kaitlin, Kim and I met, which was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. She told me that at the funeral. She sat far away because she respected the fact that he was not ready to introduce her to his family, despite what she felt was a legitimate relationship. Before his passing, he told Kimberly that he would be faithful and end any sort of a relationship with any other women, but that was obviously not the case. According to Kim, apparently, he was spending the night with another woman when he died. I was so angry at her, at myself, and mostly at Sid. Despite the difficulty, meeting allowed both women to process their grief and anger together. They bonded over their shared experiences, finding solace in each other's company. Kaitlin, it was painful but also necessary for us to heal. We shared our stories and our pain, and in that moment I felt a sense of closure. Talking to Kim helped me see that I wasn't alone in this. We were both victims of Sid's lies and tried to find a way to move forward. Despite the betrayal, Kate found a way to move forward. She focused on healing and reclaiming her life. She sought therapy, joined support groups, and leaned on her friends and family for support. Surprisingly, she and Kim became friends because of the tragedy they shared. Kaitlin, I felt something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough. No. But I didn't need Sid anymore. I realized I couldn't let Sydney's actions define me. I won't be broken without at least a fight for my sanity. I had to find my own path to happiness. Kate leaned on her family and friends, with Kimberly being the new member in her life and the online social community she found for mental support. She drew strength by sharing her story and connecting with others who understood her pain. The outpouring of support from strangers on the internet helped her see that she was not alone. The support from my family and the online community was incredible. I was stronger, because I've had time to think it through and know that maybe I was too good for him. Sharing my story helped me heal, and I hope it helps others too. Caitlin's journey was marked by moments of doubt, pain, resilience, and strength. She found ways to honor Sid's memory, as she used the money bequeathed to her in order to maintain a support and treatment group for sex addicts in NY, while acknowledging the hurt he had caused her and Kim. Kate began to see a future beyond the pain. She started dating again, embracing the possibility of new love and happiness. She was determined to build a life not defined by Sydney's betrayal. Kaitlin, I'm open to finding love again. I'm not letting Sid's deeds hold me back anymore. I deserve happiness too. Kimberly found a loving partner, Miranda, 2 years ago. I do stand by her and will happily attend the lady's wedding. Kate's future relationships will be based on honesty and mutual respect. She approaches human connections with a newfound understanding of her worth and commitment to happiness. Caitlin's journey from heartbreak to healing is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. She emerged stronger, ready to face whatever the future holds. Her story is a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is hope and the possibility of new beginnings. Kaitlin, I can buy myself flowers, talk to myself for hours, can take myself dancing and love me better than anyone else. Yeah, I am going to be happy. That's the best revenge I can have, to live fully and find joy again while hopefully marrying an honest man. Caitlin's story is one of triumph over adversity. She turned her pain into strength, and her story continues to inspire others facing their own challenges. If my personal experience can help even one person find hope, then it was worth sharing. We all deserve happiness, and it's within our reach, she says. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey on the Will I Be Happy channel. We hope Caitlin's story has inspired you to find strength in the face of adversity. Remember, happiness is within reach, even when it seems impossible. Until next time, stay happy.